Aw, shit. Here we go again. It fucking happened, guys. I had somebody who came up to me. It was like, "Hey, man, you're looking bigger. You losing weight? Are you cutting? Whatever." And I was like, we're doing some things. He was like, "You saucing, right?" And I was like, "No." And he was like, "Wait, you mean you're not taking anything? You're not taking anything whatsoever?" I said, No, I don't really want to take any PEDs or like peptides or anything like that. But he was like, oh, he was kind of confused at that. And that was pretty fucking cool. Honestly, when you get lean as a man, life fucking changes. Like, it's pretty crazy. And you start to see the world, you start to see things differently. When you get lean, people have you get more respect. You also get more hate, but you get a lot more people that respect you. There's other guys that are going to be intimidated by you. When there's a presence that you have from being this lean being, this beautiful fuck. They might feel some type of way, especially if their girlfriend's around. Girls are gonna look at you more, and the girlfriends of those guys are gonna look at you more, which can be a little awkward, but I mean, it's the truth. You have that, and then you just feel more confident. You wake up every day and you just feel better about yourself. You feel more sure. And that translates to, a whole bunch of other areas. But, it's kind of crazy. Like, guys want to make a lot of money, and that's great to make money and everything. But there are guys that have a lot of money that would pay to look like you when you get lean. Because that's something that requires that you conquer your mind and you become more disciplined, and you're able to say, nah, I gotta go to the gym today, or nah, I'm not gonna eat a bunch of junk. You're able to quiet that voice and take it over, something that they might not necessarily be able to do. And that attitude, again, it leads to more opportunities. You're looking good. When you look good, you feel good. I don't know why I did that, but when you look good, you feel good. And when you feel good, you walk around with this confidence in yourself and your ability. You feel more sure. You're better able to, to handle yourself if you ever had to get into a fight or defend yourself. You just feel like you can take it. You can take on the world. And when you are living life from that mentality and that, just that feeling, it's like things just fall into place. So I think it's super important. If you've never been this way in your life, losing some weight, get into the gym, lose some weight, build some muscle, and experience your new reality. That's a crazy thing. It's like you can go from someone who didn't get any attention at all to someone that's getting all the attention simply by going to the gym and shedding some body fat. It's fucking wild. And you don't even need to have abs. If you don't have a ton of muscle and you get lean, your muscle's gonna look bigger. Right? So people might even say oh man, you look like you've been going to the gym, you look more muscular. No, it's just you've lost body fat. The body fat is what's hiding it all. It's a totally different way of living, which is crazy. It doesn't solve every problem, but it solves a lot of problems that men have. Your dating life is gonna be it's gonna go from dry ass DMs to Jesus Christ, it's kind of a pain. That's something that I've always thought, side girls, dude, I don't want that kind of stress. That's a lot, especially if you have multiple. And I'm not somebody that really promotes like having a rotation of girls, but I do promote you being with somebody that you're really into, that you're crazy about, that interests you, that wants to be with you. You know, spend time with those people that want to be with you, that go where you're celebrated, not where you're tolerated. The shitty part is you are going to find people that don't like you because of it. You know, guys will really envy you once you start getting in shape, and they might start treating you differently. You know, they might be a little short with you, or they might try to crack jokes, or they might try to sabotage you. But all you got to do is just kind of know that you're clearly on the right path, right? You're clearly doing the right thing. So what they want you to do, fuck them. You know, you don't need to, and I'm not a big diet person, but you don't need to cheat on your diet. You don't need to, you're not lame for spending more time in the gym. Like, you're doing something for you. A real friend would be happy that you're doing something for you. Hell, they might even be there with you. But sadly, that's not the majority. You know, you might think that you want this giant circle of friends, but really it's gonna come down to a handful of people that make a difference, that are actually your true friends. Most of the people that are around you are, again, just there when things are good. And you know, it kind of sounds crazy, like how different things are from your current self to your more in shape self, but it's reality. I mean, I've lived it. And you know, if I had one recommendation for somebody who's kind of lost, they didn't really know what to do, hey, get in the gym. If you got extra body fat, try to lose some weight. If you don't have any body fat, maybe you're more scrawny, right? Build some muscle. You know, just being in shape, being a guy that takes care of himself, that's attractive. That's attractive to women. It's attractive to employers. It's attractive to the universe. You start to own shit in a way that you never thought possible, and sometimes it feels like you can't miss. Even if you lose, even if you have a loss, there's a win right around the corner. Which is, hey, life feels much better when you're living in that space. Today, we got legs. So we're probably going to start off with the hip adductors and abductors to, you know, start warming up the body. Do you think I want to try that pendulum squat thing again? We got RDLs. I'm debating between barbell RDLs and dumbbell RDLs. Dumbbell RDLs, you might be able to feel more than the barbell, but I really like the barbell, so we'll see how that goes. And then what else we got? Calves. We got to do calves, but my leg days, I don't really do, you know, an ass load of things. At least I don't think it's a ton of things. But that's what we got. That is what we have today, and then that'll kind of wrap up the workout week. My dad's going to be coming into town, so probably not going to do much gymming over the weekend. Gonna actually rest, you know. Very important that you get that recovery. There was a period of time, I think it was like 2023, when I started going to the gym, and my like exercise rings on my watch, it was like every day. You know, I was going every single fucking day. And that was great that I got myself to the gym, but you need to rest in order to grow. You know, that's when you're really growing. You're not necessarily growing in the gym. You're growing when you're on the couch. You're growing when you're asleep. You're growing when you're not really doing much of anything. You're growing when you're eating. That's your body's repair myself time. So if you start getting into the gym, you're like, you know what? This lean life that he's talking about, I want some of that. I fucking want some of that. Got to make sure you're resting too. So, yeah. So that's the plan for this weekend. And I do apologize. I do apologize that the videos from this week have not been uploaded yet. I plan on working on those tonight. I do have trivia tonight, but still, I'm going to work on those uploads and get at least one thing. I actually have something. I forgot to finish the rest of it. That's just the title and everything. But that can go live, and then I want to do another one. But yeah. So I'd say right now, things are going pretty good. Things are going pretty good. I'm kind of amped for the gym. I haven't even had the pre-workout yet. I've got my fucking banana for after the workout. I had a key lime cupcake. It's my friend Joey's birthday. What the fuck are you doing? It's my friend Joey's birthday, and he brought me a cupcake. That shit fucked. Now, I don't know where he got that cupcake from, but that absolutely fucked. So there's my glucose or my sugar intake before the gym. And that's going to feel really good after the gym because all my glycogen stores are going to be depleted. And then I'm going to be like, hey there. Hey, you beautiful leg muscles. Hey, you beautiful quads. Guess what? You get to have a snack. And they're going to be like, yes, sir. May I have another? And you know what? There's more bananas. So, quite possibly. But anyhow, dude, that was super fucking fast. I'm about to turn into the parking lot. So, I will see you once we get inside. Potato chip. Looks like it's gonna fucking rain. Boop. Getting leaner and everything. The gym, nowhere else where that shit is more true than here. All sorts of looks, whether their guy is there or not. And that's the shitty part, because then you're like, you feel bad for the guy, man. And it's like, what the fuck? But, you know, if anything were to happen, you don't really want a girl like that because it tells you a lot. But I'm not going to lie, it feels fucking great. But anyhow, we're going to do this. 4 sets of this hip adductor. Going to start off with a warm-up, but then, 4 sets. Not a crazy weight, but I'm trying to get to like between 10 and 15 reps. Definitely with something like this, more reps, it's just more lactic acid, more of a burnout, and that's what I'm going for. All right, now we're going to do the abductors, and we're going to do another 4 sets of this. It's pretty slow in here today, at least right now. It's because of the weather. And we're here just like a tad early. Been watching some Tom Platz videos, the Quad Father, the Golden Eagle. I mean, he said the secret to great quads wasn't so much the weight, it was the reps. So that's kind of how I treat these movements. I wanna do more reps. I know like 12 to 15 isn't like the craziest amount of reps, right? But I've personally found that when you use a lot of weight and you do it, you get like 6 or 7. It doesn't really, you did something, but it doesn't necessarily like feel the greatest. Like you feel like you could keep going. But when you have higher reps and you're really fucking going, that's where legs really starts to hurt. So that's what I'm going for with good technique. Hell, I might even squat. I'm probably not going to squat, but I might. And you might even say like, oh, you talk about failure. Isn't that what matters? So doing 6 or 7, if it gets you to failure, shouldn't that be all that matters? The difference with the higher reps is it's more time under tension, which will also cause a growth stimulus and damage the muscle. So we are really making sure that we're getting a lot out of these movements. We're having the muscle exposed to the weight for a longer period of time. We're getting a burn. We are fucking our shit up. That's what we're doing. We're fucking it up. No, I should say to what I said before. Got to keep this in mind. So what I said is true if you're looking for size. If you're looking for strength, then you need more practice with heavier loads. So then you might only be hitting 6 or 7 or 5 reps even. You can do multiple sets of those. It kind of depends on what you're training for. What you got to remember is a strong muscle is not necessarily a big muscle, but all big muscles are strong muscles because mass moves mass, all right? So you could have someone that's super strong and isn't very big, or you could have someone that's big and they are strong, but compared to the smaller dude that is just really strong, I mean, you would never expect it. Muscle is super dense, okay? Personally, I'm not trying to do that. I think most dudes are trying to grow and increase their size, so I'm speaking in the context of that. Size and shape, that is. All right, we're moving on to 4 sets of the seated hamstring curl. Last time I did the prone. From videos that I've seen, allegedly seated is better. I don't really know, or I don't remember why, but we're going to do it anyway. So, same thing, trying to get around 12 reps. I think 12 is a good cutoff. Or not cutoff, but a good target. This is also one of those exercises where one side can take over and dominate, so you got to be a little bit mindful of that. So every now and then it might be good to do this with each leg individually just to see where you're at. Okay, all right, let's be done with this. I think we're going to move on, check and see if the pendulum's available. If not, we'll fucking figure it out. I will say the one thing I don't like about this gym, and it's small, but I hate that there's only 2 leg extension machines and both of them are ass. I wish they had a better leg extension here. All right, beautiful. I didn't actually know that you could change the platform on this thing. So I was dicking around with that. I kind of liked it when it was all the way up. It felt like I really didn't have to go that far to feel the stimulus, but I'm just going to keep it where it's at now so there's more distance. But something like this, we're going to do 4, maybe 5 sets if I'm fucking insane. And this I'm actually okay with getting like 7 to 10 at, just because this is more of like a compound movement similar to a squat. I know it's on a machine, but you're bracing, you're using all sorts of muscles to fucking get this shit up. So that's what we're gonna do. I only have 10 pounds on it because this thing, you do not need a lot. Disclaimer, if you're gonna try this for the first time, try it with no weight on it. Don't hurt yourself like I did. I'm also having my legs more square. When I squat, I have a wider stance. That'll emphasize my hamstrings and glutes more. I really wanna focus on my quads with this, so more narrow stance. Oh. Oh my God. Perfect timing. All right, guys, we're actually going to do this. It's the single leg hamstring curl. I do like this. Again, you don't need a lot of weight for this, so we're going to do, I'm going to say 3 sets each leg. If I want to do another one, I will. But yeah, that's what we're going to do. Dude, I pinched the fuck out of my arm. Yeah, we're going to rush over there. Fuck. No, we're not. I'm all for doing your discipline, but the frustrating thing is it locks down 3 of the squat racks for literally like 2 fucking hours. Literally, it's a whole fucking mob. Alright, we're going to do dumbbell RDLs with these square dumbbells. Thinking 3 sets of this. It's really important when you're doing these that you keep the dumbbells or the barbell really close to your thighs. That's how you avoid tweaking your lower back. This is a hip hinge movement, so your hips are coming back in space as the dumbbells go straight down or the barbell goes straight down. And then it's more like a thrust forward to come back up. So your hips are doing this, they're moving this way. If you have the dumbbells too far in front of you, you're more inclined to like bend your back in a movement that your back does not want to be in. So a lot of back injuries can be avoided just by making sure that the dumbbells or the barbell are close to your legs. I think of painting them. You know, I want them super fucking close as possible, and your back shouldn't hurt. So give that a try if you've been having back pain if you do things like this. Oh man. Oh. Woo! Calves. Calves it is. That's not right. Whew. Oh man. All right, we're gonna do calves. Oh, the banana. Oh, where the fuck am I gonna put this? All right, guys, great success. I'm fucking beat, like mega beat. I think those those RDLs, they fucking tore me up at the end. Holy shit. I thought about not even making a video, just kind of wanted to ride in silence. Legs will do that to you. Oh. But nevertheless, it was a good day. Good workout. A little bit odd because it's raining, so people like to stay inside when it's raining. not train, quit, you know, that kind of shit. But not us. We fucking went. And that's why people think that we are packing on the muscle, or that we're leaning out, getting all suave, because we are. Because we are. And you know what? People may even say shit like, oh, I used to do this, I used to do Y, right? Key word there is used to. You know, people could used to do whatever the fuck, but where are you right now? If you ain't here right now, what the fuck does it matter? You know, we're living in the present. People like that are living in the past, where all of they're defined by their past accomplishments and have done nothing else, you know, or even let themselves go. That's a slippery slope. You don't want that. And achieving some sort of notoriety can do that to you, you know. But when you live in your shadow self, it's just kind of empty, because it's not you. It's not who you are. But honestly, who you are is defined by, you know, not only yourself, but there's a lot of things that go into defining who you are. Kind of like, what do you identify? Like, how do you identify yourself? Is it by your accomplishments? Is it by your money? What is it? I like to think that yourself is defined by your value system, what you think and believe, and of course, like, what your hobbies and interests are, but just more so the kind of person you are. Because you could do X, Y, and Z, right? And people may not even remember that shit. But people do tend to remember how you made them feel and the impact you had on their life. Whoa. What the fuck are you doing? Fucking Corolla on Hillsborough Avenue. Or one who's driving that. But anyhow, yeah. How you make people feel matters a lot. You can be an asshole if you want. Sometimes it's kind of, you need to be an asshole, right? You don't want to be a doormat. But putting kindness out into the world, or at least good fortune, good efforts. Honestly, the golden rule that we learned in elementary school, over the years I've found that is probably the most true rule. Treat others the way that you want to be treated. And it sounds simple. But in practice, it can be pretty difficult. I see people not do that shit all the time. But, you know, it's easy to hold others to a standard, to a high standard, that is. But we don't always meet that standard, and therein lies a problem. I'm just gonna put that right on this Tupperware. But yeah, meeting your own standard. And your mind knows when you don't meet your own standard, or when you're being a hypocrite, and it don't like it. It remembers that shit, and that kind of stuff eats away at your self-esteem, your self-confidence, which we don't want to be doing all this work in the gym if we're just going to undo it with our behavior. Speaking of the gym, you know, everybody's heard the term roid rage. On some level, can it make you angrier? Yeah. But more so, just like money, it just amplifies what's already there. So, taking the steroids, if it makes you angry, well, you were already kind of an angry person. You gotta work on that. What's making you feel that way? Highly recommend therapy. If you've never been to therapy, it can be really helpful and beneficial. You know, because just learning about yourself in general is helpful, because then you can learn your triggers and pain points, and you can kind of control that mind that I talked about in the beginning of the video, you know, where I said you had mastery over your impulses and your brain, and, you know, that could be achieved through therapy. But therapy is also one of those things that it's only as effective as the effort that you put into it. And what I mean by that is, like, you get out what you put in. So some people go to therapy and all they want is to just hear someone tell them, you know, they just want someone to agree with them. And they don't want to put in the extra work. They don't want to fucking delve deeper. They don't want to be open. Like, if you lie in therapy, like, I don't understand people that do that, because you're not really helping yourself at all. In fact, you're doing the opposite, because then now you're working on something that's not even accurate. So I think a really good virtue is being able to tell the truth consistently, not just for some things, but someone who is able to tell the truth and can, like, even when it sucks to let somebody know the truth, or even when you could get in trouble, or you could lose something, maybe your relationship could get fucked up, or maybe you can get in trouble at work, or maybe you can get on your friend's bad side. You know, someone that's willing to tell the truth anyway, that person has my respect. That's somebody who's accountable. That's someone who really, it's a loving thing, because you give these people the ability to make a decision, make an informed decision about whatever, because you were truthful and honest with them. You give them the chance to have an authentic response. And I think too many people deny that. They omit the truth, or they tweak a story. You know, lying through omission is a thing. So just like leaving out details. If you're doing that, and you know you're doing that, I mean, what the fuck are you doing? Why? Why are you doing that? What are you afraid of? Because at the end of it all, like, it's something, you're avoiding something for a reason. What do you think is going to happen if you were to tell the truth, or if you were to be authentic? What would happen? But honestly, I'm just kind of rambling at this point. The legs got me just feeling like I'm on a cloud. So I'm probably going to cut the video here. That's going to be it for this week with the gym. I get these videos uploaded. Remember to stay beautiful. Have a wonderful weekend, or whatever time it is for you when you're watching this. If you made it this far, once again, thank you for watching. I appreciate the support. And yeah, stay big, stay beautiful. Bye, beautiful time.